So there's a couple of stuff happening. Obviously, this weekend is Comic-Con, so there's going to be a lot of announcements. So I'm going to be busy commenting on all these things because I can't be there because broke. But having said that, there's going to be a lot of announcements. There was something that was announced in the last week or so, and I didn't feel the need to make a video on it at the time, but it's gained some traction and there's been some new developments on this piece as Comic-Cons went on. So I thought, you know, I'll weigh in on this. Yeah, because I like where this is going now. It looks promising. So, we all know that Ben Affleck is Batman. It's been this way for 2 years now. Well, almost 2 years now. And it feels like we've been talking about this forever. It really fucking does. Having said that, you know, the Batman v Superman trailer looks a bit more promising. The suit looks good. I believe in Ben Affleck. He's a very capable actor. He's really pulled himself up from Geely, Jersey Girl, Armageddon. You know, but very capable actor. I'm on board with that. He not only is he we're co-starring as Batman. No, fuck it, he's starring as Batman in Batman v Superman. His character's name's first. He's also going to make a cameo in Suicide Squad, as we've seen because of all the leaked footage. We also know that, you know, obviously there's going to be a Justice League film, so he's going to be spearheading that. Furthermore, he's going to be in The Batman. He's going to direct The Batman. It's being co-written by the dude who wrote Argo, so that'll be cool. Co-written by Argo. I think it was Mark Terrario. That guy, cool guy. Well done. Argo's a fucking fantastic movie. I want to watch it again now. Also, Jeff Johns is going to come on, and he's going to co-write it as well. So I like that. This is good. It means, yes, we're going to make a Batman film. Yes, we've got one of the hottest actors in the world right now and the hottest director combined in one person. So we'd be fools not to get him to direct something. Okay. They've got the guy he's got a great writing partner in the guy who wrote Argo. So we're going to get we're going to get this guy who can create tension from nothing. There's an airport scene in Argo where suddenly everything's fine, and then it's not at all. And the person that you think is going to hold it all together becomes this stuttering, mumbling mess. Yes, I'm on board with that. Argo is a fantastically written movie. If you haven't watched Argo, go and watch Argo. Then go watch The Town. Then go watch Gone Baby Girl. Gone Girl, Gone. And Gone Baby Gone. Because all these women are gone. And obviously Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is a DC writer who's been with that company for many years now. His body of work speaks for itself. He's got the magic touch. He's got the Midas touch, man. Whatever property he takes, he turns to gold. He's written The Flash. He's written Aquaman. He's written Justice League. He's written Justice League of America. He's dabbled with Batman, but only in as part of a larger team. Except for when he's done Batman Earth 1. And this is thought to be one of the inspirations for The Batman movie. Batman Earth 1, for those who aren't familiar with it, is basically, it's sort of, kind of the origins of Batman, but without the finesse. We can't just assume this guy was naturally good at detective work. We can't just assume he was in tip-top shape, and we can't just assume he knew how to leap buildings in a single bound, a la that other guy. So it deals with still a rookie Batman, very much so. You know, in the recent volume, it shows him walking onto a crime scene, and Commissioner Gordon's like, "You're standing in evidence. You're not much of a detective, are you?" You know, so he's a Batman beta, is what Jeff Johns has described him as. Now, obviously, I'm not suggesting that that's the Batman Ben Affleck's going to be playing. We expect that Batman to be fully formed, ready to go. Sort of almost a little over the hill, but he kind of world-weary Batman is how he's been described in Batman vs Superman. But I think it'll be cool to see how that informs it. He writes a really good Batman, does Jeff Johns. I mean, he's really good at taking the characters that no one particularly cares about, and then suddenly it's your favorite character of all time. I've said this before about guys like Jason Aaron in Marvel. He's the same. He's the guy. He's writing Star Wars right now, and he's awesome. Having said that, this is good. Also, what Earth 1 is also famous for is because it introduced the concept of a bit more rugged, burly Alfred. So, and I don't mean like a Phil Mitchell type, but just like he's kind of like an East End He's the head of security at Wayne Manor. So whenever the Waynes get gunned down, he's their legal guardian. He's Bruce's legal guardian. So he declares himself the butler because he doesn't have that closeness immediately. He's like, I'm going to be your new daddy. So he's like he calls himself the butler just as a bridge. But really, he's the guy who he was in the wars. He knows how to stitch up wounds. He knows how he teaches him how to fight. It's the Alfred that we've seen in Gotham, the TV show. So that's fine. But yeah, very very on board with this. I'm glad to see there are so many talented writers in the comic book industry that don't really get a look in anything beyond that. Like look at Grant Morrison, look at Brian K. Vaughan, look at so many of the Marvel guys like Bendis and Jonathan Hickman and Warren Ellis. These guys are excellent, but they don't really, it's just so much untapped potential. Why don't these guys get linked to any of the movies? Why does nobody put their name in that? I know Jeff Johns was involved with the Green Lantern movie that nobody wants to talk about, but still, he's a great writer, and I'm glad to see him brought on board in such a high profile way. So this can only be a good thing. It's past time for these two. The comics and movies have bled into each other, but it just feels like the creative talent between the two less so. Yeah, we have a lot of you see a lot of the Marvel guys brought on as like story consultants. I know that like Joe Quesada and Bendis and Mark Miller and guys like that have been brought on there in the past, but come on, man, you can do better than that, and they are. So. Good for DC. I'm liking this. I can't wait to see what they announce. Obviously, we're going to get some Suicide Squad footage or a Dawn of Justice footage. Hopefully, it gets released and we don't have to watch it sideways from somebody's iPhone. Because if that's the case, I'm not reviewing that. I'm full disclosure right now. I am going to comment on trailers that are released online legally in HD, not some shitty grainy recording from an iPhone sideways backwards in black and white. That's it. So if you're looking for any of that on this channel, don't, is my advice. If you like this video though, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz, and I'll see you when I see you, YouTube. Goodbye.